Hello, this is Modia, and here's my video which displays my med tracker. Starting off, I'm going to go through all of the features and talk about user stories and IH. So here is my application called Medication Tracker. For my user story, as a user, I want to add new medications to my profile so I can track the complete medication list. Using this form on the side, I can include information about my medication, including the medication name, the dosage, a frequency, a start date, and a end date. And when I add the medication, it shows up on the side here. You can easily use this to add medications to the list on the left. For the user story, as a user, I want a simple and intuitive user interface with easy navigation and clear categories associated with medications so I can ensure quick access to medications and ease of use. You can see that this allows me to quickly and easily add medications and is self-explanatory. Deletion of medications is also self-explanatory. Hitting the delete button over here gives one can additionally click the About button over here, which will give more information about the description and the mission of the application. For my user story, I want to view detailed information about each medication so that I can stay informed. This is right here. And then on the About page, users will also be able to search up a medication and it will give a link, but this will be implemented with my partner's microservice. As I just demonstrated, there are ways for the user to interact with the app. For IH1, here is the description of the app's features on the screen. The description of why people would want to use these features. For example, the search feature allows you to keep track of all your medications effectively. For IH2, on the About page, in the description regarding the um, description of the application, it is mentioned that the cost of the features of the application are free. IH3 users can gather information about each medication, its dosage, frequency, start dates, and end dates over here in the corner, which allows them to have comprehensive details about their medication. For IH4, here is a search bar that looks just like Google's, which should be familiar. After adding a medication, as I'm about to demonstrate here, if I'm on the About page, users can select Medication Tracker to view the previous page, which is a way to backtrack. For IH6, here you can see that users have the Add Medication button, and it's clear for what to do next after they enter in the information for each medication. For IH8, as I am demonstrating, when a user does not enter in all the information or required fields, there is an error message which tells them to fill in all the required fields. For my usability quality attribute, the non-functional requirement is the interface allows users to complete tasks with minimal efforts. I already demoed that. For my accessibility quality attribute, the non-functional requirement is that the tracker adheres to accessibility standards and can be used by individuals with diverse needs. And I tried to implement this through the in-depth descriptions on the About page. For my reliability quality attribute, the system reliably stores newly added information. I demonstrated that as well, and that's here on the side. Just to recap, here were the features of my application. Additionally, my quality attribute was reliability, given the error messages and the way that it handles errors gracefully. And now to show how my partner's microservice was implemented into my project. My terminal here, and I got my front end and my back end started in two separate terminals. For my back end, it currently says that it's running on port 3001. And then basically I do have this page up as well to save time, which is basically my code for implementing my partner's microservice, which is going to be on the About page. Just a reminder before I show you exactly how it works. My partner's microservice is a Mayo Clinic drugs fact retrieval service, which basically retrieves a formatted JSON of drug facts when given the name of a medication. So I'm going to show how that works here. And this is the microservice that my partner made for me. It's an EXE application which uses named pipes in Windows. Okay, then this is the React application, and it's currently in localhost 3000. Starting off, just to show that it works, when I type in the name of the medication and I hit send message, in the back end right here, it will basically receive the name of the medication from the front end, and then it will go ahead and launch the drug service, the drug information service. This is basically my partner's microservice right here. And then this is the microservice running. So it's waiting on the response from my microservice, from my partner's microservice, and then it connects through different named pipes. And it one of the pipes it sends the name of the medication, and then we have a response pipe which sends the information back. And the information is from the Mayo Clinic website. So this right here, it'll give us other names for potassium, and then it'll give us information about that, like this is the information that it'll give us basically, which is a list of all medications that include potassium, as well as the route that they are administered, which can be either IV or oral or any type of route that it's basically like administered or can be administered in. And it will give us the top results, and then it will go ahead and close out my partner's microservice. And then on the front end, uh, it will show all the drug facts that I received from my partner's microservice, which includes the names that we read out earlier, as well as a description of the medication, the usage, the safety information, the interactions, and all the information that is basically from my partner's microservice up here. Now I'm going to do a code walkthrough just to show like the code and how it's set up. So I have a back end folder and I have the front end folder. This is the microservice that my partner made me. Here are, this is my medication controller.js file. And then here is the medication model, which was from Mongoose. Oops. And then here are the roots. This I'm not going to open because that has private information in it. This is associated with the microservice that my partner created. Here is my server.js file. Okay, here's main.js. And then we go into our front end and pages. Here's the home page. Here is search bar, which uses my partner's microservice. Under images, I have the pill bottle image that's used. And then here is additional components that I used for this project. All right. Alrighty, and now for the self-reflection. The first question here was 3 big ideas that I came aware of during this course. The first one was mainly tied to Agile, which includes collaboration, customer feedback, and adapting to changing requirements, understanding iterations and how teams respond to change and how that's implemented. The second one was microservices and how each one communicates with one another, how they're scaled independently and focused on a business capability. And this was important for creating one for my partner. And the third one was the purpose of user stories and how they play a role in Agile and how, when implemented, they ensure that each functionality is met. 2 actions that I plan to take are implementing Agile in the future, increasing collaboration, communication, and adaptability. And then the second one is doing more research in regards to microservices and figuring out how they're integrated in major companies and other software applications. And then one major insight was recognizing that change is inevitable and that project requirements, goals, and circumstances change over time, and that it's important to embrace those to contribute to more successful outcomes. Thank you for listening to my video.